My sweet and lovely Virgos, this is your horoscope for May 2025. Now, first half of May will be a bit of a bumpy ride, but second half of May we will have a reward from universe in the face of amazing, super positive new moon. Now, let's start from the beginning. May 4th, we have Pluto going backwards, slowing down in your house of work and work relationships and daily routine and activities. And also that house also governs our health and well-being and physical body. Now, Pluto will retrograde until October 14th. Now, Pluto is karmic planet, transformation planet, and it's a slow moving planet. It's right now at your third degree of your sixth house, and it will move backwards until the first degree. So if you're born beginning of Virgo seasons, you will feel this retrograde the most. But to be honest, with Pluto, we're all gonna feel, but most sharply, you guys gonna feel those who are born in the beginning of season of Virgo. Now, Pluto naturally rules your house of contracts. So whatever, if you feel that from starting from May until mid of October, something is going slow, especially deals, agreements, it takes a lot of time, a lot of other small things and tasks that are sometimes irritating, or people are a bit not sort of indecisive, or they need more time to negotiate, and in general negotiations take longer time. So Pluto is working behind the scenes, it gives this sort of backward motion to think. And maybe whatever, like for example, there was an agreement or job offer back in November 2024 when Pluto first entered into your sixth house. And now that topic is coming back starting from May until October 14th. It might have second act. Let's say whatever you've started, maybe business, maybe some job offer, some negotiations, some deals like your work-wise. Now that deal might hit back and there might be some additional things going on. Maybe some person joining the theme, or maybe some additional clause to that agreement, or renegotiating the terms of the agreement. Something will be going on there. It might play out as a second act here while Pluto will be retrograding, or you might go back to those ideas that you had previously back in November 2024. In terms of what kind of work you want, or maybe to change your work situation, or someone who works for you, because sixth house are those people who work for us, like our assistants, secretary, I don't know, or maybe even nannies or gardener, for example, at home. Now, this is about Pluto, and also it's about health, as I said. So for some of you guys, it might be the topic of your well-being. So back in November, if you started something like, I don't know, going to gym, or sort of new diet, new lifestyle, or maybe eating habits. Sixth house is your house, my dear Virgos. It's about what kind of food I consume, quality of that food I consume, this kind of topics, So that very much actually, concerns you, and you are very much into that topic, and you are very careful in general around this food things. And it might be that it's something that you've started back in November, and now you're gonna do that again, or you might stop doing that, whatever is that. Maybe it's a gym, maybe it's Pilates or yoga, or something related to well-being and daily routine. There will be need to change to what you do daily, my dear Virgos, or you might go back vice versa to things that you've been doing back in November and December. Like maybe you've been I don't know, playing tennis and you've stopped for some time now, and in May you will start going back to that tennis classes, for example. May 12th, we have full moon, difficult one, in your house of contracts, in your house of communication. Now, this full moon will have sort of shocking news to deliver, and it might be so surprising, so astounding, but it's not in a positive, let's say. It might not be positive news, not the happy one, but let me help you to navigate this full moon. Now, full moons are about conclusion, or they put some spotlight into some news, into some situation there in your case. Now, why it will be shocking? Because Uranus, planet of surprises and shocking news, will oppose directly that full moon. Opposition is not easy to deal. Now, Uranus will be situated in your ninth house of foreign relationships and foreign people, foreign places. So there might be a need to sign a contract, or all of a sudden you, for example, plus Uranus rules your house of work. Some of your business partners, for example, might announce that they are ending the agreement, or something might abruptly finish. For example, you've been thinking to bring a client, a foreign client, and you've been thinking that it's successful, but all of a sudden the client says that they will not be working with your company or with you, for example, or they won't be selling, or they won't be distributing whatever is your area of work. So some shocking, startling news are coming around there. Those of you who are born 13th of September, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most, because this full moon hitting your 22nd degree of your third house. And if you have some placements there, you will feel this too. Now, third house is about contracts, contractual agreements, and maybe it was a job offer. Now, for some of you guys, it might be that you're going to sign an offer, like contract for job, which will be located abroad and which will need your relocation, for example. Or it might be that current client or current someone who is located somewhere far and work with you, like, I don't know, maybe it's your editor, maybe it's your employee, someone who is far in a foreign land might announce that they're quitting the job, and they are, let's say, they are breaking the contract, for example. Now, Pluto, ruler of this full moon, will have an argument, sharp argument with your ruler, Mercury, in your ninth house. Now, Mercury will be situated in your ninth house, and Pluto is situated in your sixth house. Now, this is about, again, work relationship. You might have tough decision to make, plus a little bit tough communication. You are natural communicators, my dear Virgos. So around this full moon, 12th of May, use all your communication skills to navigate whatever comes around this full moon, because the talks, the negotiations won't go so easy, let me tell you, because Pluto is in a sharp argument with Mercury, and it's all about communication. You and other person might not agree at all on some topic related to work, related to foreign relationship. For example, maybe it's a sales. Now, there will be help from universe, North Node, which is a destiny node, plus Saturn. They will be in your house of all other people. Now, they will send amazing trine. This is the best aspect possible to that full moon. And they will also send beams to Uranus to make it a bit milder, to negotiate with Uranus. So you will have sort of edge and help from universe, and you will have a chance to convince other person and to come to your terms, my dear Virgo. So use all your charm, all your communication skills and logic to overcome whatever comes with this full moon, because at the end you will see the success. Because seventh house is exactly about, all other people. You will have this power to charm other counterpart and convince, finally at the end, to convince that person to sign the papers. Or it could be, in the face of your wife or your husband or a long-term sweetheart who will help you to navigate the situation, who will give you some advice, maybe a piece of advice that will save you, save that agreement, or who will be so supportive that you even will not notice how harsh this full moon shocking news will be. This is as an example, my dear Virgos. The third house is also house of travel, and Uranus is also in your travel house. So it seems like you might travel somewhere around May 12th with your loved one, with your wife or husband. Seems like you will be traveling, but work will be pressing at the same time. So it's around May 12th. And it's sort of short distance travel, like somewhere under 3 hours by plane or by car. Third house is also house of transportation. Now here, again, take good care around transportation. May 12th, maybe your car might need maintenance, or something might go, let's say, sideways or wrong with your transportation. For example, you've been planning to travel somewhere, but then your flight got canceled, as an example. Or for one or another reason you will not be actually traveling. For example, you have something urgent going on at work, as an example again, my dear Virgos. Third house is about news. Some shocking news is coming. So anyhow, stay tuned and be with your one and only, because that's who will help you to navigate that news and situation, my dears. Or you might finish your education and your college or some skills around this full moon. May 25th, big thing going on, Saturn moving into your 8th house until September 1st. So end of May until September, Saturn will show you what it's going to bring into your financial house for the next 3 years. Starting from May. So, be aware, sort of try to notice what's going on whole summer and until September, meaning 3 months. And Saturn will be back into this your financial house to stay 3 years on Valentine's Day next year, 2026. So it will stay for 3 years. Saturn stays in one place, roughly speaking, 3.5, let's say 3.5 years. Now, Saturn takes 29 years to come back to the same point. So it makes whole wheel of zodiac in 29 years, again, roughly speaking. So Saturn haven't been in this part of your life for the past 29 years, and it's coming to check up on you if you've done your homework well. And if you've done so, it might reward you. In general, Saturn, I call this planet a strict teacher of the universe. It teaches us how to build our stamina and how to overcome obstacles. Now, Saturn is planet of hard work. It's a restrictive planet. It's about restrictions, and it's about responsibilities. Now, Saturn rules your house of children, and it's coming into your house of conception. So some of you guys might get pregnant if that was your wish, and if it's not, even because Saturn likes to put that responsibility on your shoulder so that you do good to your, let's say, karma and in general in your life. So you might get pregnant with this Saturn in your 8th house, or you might become parent and feel this sort of responsibility weights, let's say, of being parent. For example, in the next 3 years. Now, eighth house is also money house. It's about inheritance. You might get inherited in the next 3 years, something like properties, or maybe not even from your family or some other people too. It is a possibility. Now, investments. Now, Saturn in the eighth house, I wouldn't suggest you to gamble and in general invest without knowing anything there, because, well, Saturn makes it smaller. So it shrinks the money, and those investments might not be so successful, let's say. And eighth house is about family budget. It's about money that comes to you from other people, like your wife, your husband, or some institutions. And again, try not to take a loan in the next 3 years, because then it will take long years to give back that money, even just to borrow money, let's say. And try not to borrow to anyone as well, not to lend anyone money too, because you will see that money after a long time, not as it was promised back, and Saturn, eighth house, it might also make smaller money of your husband or wife. Maybe they're changing job, or maybe they will start getting less salary. For example, you've got a baby and now they are staying home, and because of that they will not be working, as an example, or just because they quit their job, for example, because of health reasons. Because eighth house, Saturn in eighth house will give quite a lot of might give health issues too, especially related with bones, with teeth, because Saturn rules those things. And in eighth house, it's about well-being. So you might start going to checkups already starting end of May, especially related to your teeth and to your bones, especially backbone, our spinal also bones, and all those things. And in general, your back might start, hurting, and it might need your, let's say, attention, more attention, and even checkups. Now, in terms of health, eighth house is also house of sex and intimacy, and Saturn, whatever it touches makes it smaller. So you might have this sort of a desire to refrain from intimate life, let's say, and that part of your life will sort of shrink. And it might be even intentional. You might be feeling that you need this, and maybe because you will be paying more attention to your spiritual part of your life, because eighth house is also about spirituality. Some of you guys might get heavily interested into astrology, numerology, tarot, like all this spirituality, like meditation, yoga, and Pilates, all these things. It seems like, Saturn might give you sort of deep dive into those subjects and topics of esoteric psychology, or becoming a psychologist, professional psychologist, for example, in our mystical part of our life. So Saturn might give you these long hours of study and sort of self-study, self-digging, self-discovery. Eighth house is about that too. And it's about healing, like healing magically too. You might start doing so by concentrating on and listening to your body, my dear Virgos. This will be exceptional journey for you guys, because naturally you are very concerned of your health and well-being. Now, as I said, better not to take any loans as well, and banks won't be so, let's say, friendly in lending you money. Scholarship, you might also lose the scholarship if you're a student with Saturn in your 8th house. It will be scarce, it won't be enough. Let's say it will be less there, or some funding for your business. Again, if you're going to start a business, it will be great, but so you know that most probably no one will help you. You will have to rely on yourself. It's about hard work. It's about step by step, long journey. Don't expect that business boom, yeah, boom like in a first, I don't know, year or second. While this Saturn will be all 3 years in your eighth house, you will have to put up some work there because Saturn is a heavy work, type of planet. So if you're starting a business, seems like you will put your own money, like not so many investors will be interested in investing, let's say, or putting money in your business. So everything will be uh, done by you and rely on yourself. But in general, it will be sort of hard to find good investor, business partner. So better to do it yourself. And alimony, for example, if you've been receiving alimony for your kid, like if you divorced or for yourself, and because let's say your ex-husband or wife, they lost a job, will stop paying that alimony. It might be the possibility too. So, bring awareness and try to see what will be going on whole summer, because Saturn will be giving you the signals. And in general, it's a planet of remolding things. So if something is shaky in your this financial house and in general those topics that I mentioned, then it will break everything down. It will tear apart so that you build something more solid, because Saturn is about solid foundations. But if everything is there solid, especially your family budget and everything, then you won't even feel this Saturn, my dear Virgos. No need to be scared. Anyhow, I'll do separate video, so stay tuned on that. May 27th. Now finally we have perfect, picture perfect, amazing new moon happening. Reward from universe in your house of career. Now highest point of your chart. This is amazing one. Now, my dear Virgos, this new moon is hitting your 6th degree, meaning those of you who are born 28th of August, plus or minus 5 days, you will feel this new moon the most. It's the perfect one. Now, Pluto, planet of transformation, sending trine. The most amazing aspect to that new moon from your house of work. Now, if you've been planning and trying to change your situation of work, maybe change completely what you do, like your life course in terms of career, or you've been aiming to get promoted, like to some promotions, like making for yourself a name, you will get that. Universe is rewarding, on its way to reward you. Plus Jupiter is transiting your right now 10th house of career. So this is amazing new moon will be that will activate whatever you've been planning in terms of career. Seems like some of you guys might get promoted for higher, like manager position, VIP position, because 10th house is about reputation, is about influence. So whatever comes in, it will come with this heavy reputation and influence that will be on you. All the spotlight will be on you. Plus new moon will conjunct Mercury, your ruler, and the ruler of new moon. Now, Mercury will also receive amazing beam from Saturn and Neptune, another two karmic planets, newly situated in your financial house. Saturn rules your house of joy and love, and Neptune rules of house of, committed partnerships and love, marriage too. So it seems like whatever will be happening, your one and only and sweetheart will be supportive and happy at the same time. Plus, they might bring their finances to the situation too. Seems like you are finding that new job offer or negotiating new position for yourself, like higher position, signing the contract. So there is a new energy, new start, fresh start in your life. And seems like everyone is happy there. Now, if you say nothing's going on in my life, then it might be your father's life. Your father might be getting all those recognitions, titles, and prize or nomination, some sort of achievement, because 10th house is about achievement. It's an amazing place to have this new moon, and also about social status. Some of you guys might decide to get married, like changing some social status there happening. Or maybe you will get the news that you're pregnant, you're becoming parent in the future, as an example, my dear Virgos. Now always check your rising sign and moon sign, because they three, all of them, they play out usually. So I wish you amazing May. Love you all. Bye bye.